Welcome back to the Healing Room, everyone. Tonight's topic of conversation is fate versus destiny. And these words have been used interchangeably in our vocabulary, but they're quite different. Fate is what life brings to us day by day, what life brought to us when we were born into this world. We were fated with a certain experience, family, gender, health, many things we were born with. That is what we are, the card, the cards that were dealt to us. That is fate. Destiny, however, is what we do with those cards, what we do with what life presents to us. So the word fatalistic or fatalism has this idea that we are victims, that we have no capacity to do anything with our lives because it's already decided for us. That is a fatalistic perspective of reality. But the reality is that we wake up each day, each morning, and we decide, we choose the life we're going to live. No one is telling us what we have to do with our lives. But according to my understanding, and especially observing my own life, there is a destiny that we are here to fulfill. There is something our soul wanted to accomplish in a lifetime. Call it the soul purpose. And we are continually being informed about this soul purpose and our destiny through our intuition, through synchronicities, coincidences, our inner voice speaking to us, directing us. But we have free will of what we're going to do with this information. We are totally free to follow our destiny or to ignore it. But it behooves us to really pay close attention to these cosmic taps on the shoulder, informing us of what is the point of my life? Why am I here? Right? So if I have experiences growing up with all of these life challenges, I can get caught up in that situation, reliving yesterday over and over and over again. But those experiences of the past are simply fodder for us to grow stronger, to grow beyond the limitations that we came here to work through. So fate also relates to karma. We come into this lifetime and we have karmic patterns. We have samskaras, impressions from the past that we are here to look at, deal with, evolve through, take responsibility for. So that is what fate is presenting us with, our history, our karmic past, and our samskaras. It's not that which is to hold us back or keep us down, but that which is to elevate our consciousness if we have the presence and the wherewithal to utilize the information to make ourselves more conscious, to awaken in this realm of illusion, right? So everything is brought to us for a purpose. So we learn to accept our fate so that we can fulfill our destiny. We take that which is given to us, we take that which life presents to us, and we alchemize it to fashion our destiny, because that is our choice. We may not have choice in what's coming our way, but we have choice of how we're going to relate to it, how we're going to perceive our life experiences. We have that power. But if I'm a victim of my past, of whatever, then I have no power to create my destiny. It's not created per se. There is a path laid out for us, but it's not determined until we decide it to be. So we are the ones who are empowered to make the choices to be on that path. So, for example, I encountered my mentor in my late 20s, and I always think to myself, what are the chances that I'm going to meet a holistic physician that does all of these various therapies, homeopathy, flower essences, Ayurveda, tissue salts, detox, nutrition, diet, on and on it went. Like, what were the chances that I was going to encounter this individual? Well, it was on my destined path to meet him clearly. So I created all these health problems, right? Or I was fated with all these health problems that I would seek the answers. I would seek the ways to heal myself. So that fate, I wasn't a victim of all these health problems. These challenges were presented to me that I would expand beyond my limitations, that I would learn how to heal myself, and in doing so, support others in healing themselves. So this was my destined path. And when I encountered Dr. Ballantyne, clearly he was the one person I was looking for in this lifetime. And then the suggestions that he made, I had a choice. He said, go back to school and get your degrees in naturopathy and holistic medicine. And I could have chosen not to go down that path. But instead, I said, that sounds like wise counsel. And I followed his advice. So each step of the way, there's choices to make when life presents to us that which we are here to face. And the goal is, how do I expand with what is presented to me rather than collapsing with what's presented to me? Because we're here to face challenge after challenge, because when we face those challenges, then we become initiated. We grow beyond our limitations because we come with all these limitations in our subconscious. And it's Jung who said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until you make the unconscious conscious, the unconscious will direct your life and you will call it fate. So it is our job to excavate our subconscious mind of all those limiting programs, patterns, and beliefs that are running in the background, creating dis-ease, creating pain and suffering, so that we can transmute all those limiting ideas and be open and empty within our subconscious. The subconscious is what's pulling our life experiences to us magnetically. So we'll notice the same things occurring over and over again, positive and negative. But we're more interested in the negative experiences that are happening because whenever we encounter patterns, that's our assignment. The patterns we face in our daily lives is our assignment to transmute. When we transmute it, then the path that we're here to walk upon is clearer. Our destined path reveals itself when we clear the way. So the subconscious that is filled with all of these limiting programs don't allow us to see clearly the path before us, the destined path before us. So our job in life is to notice our level of reactivity and step into it, to break through the reactivity, because reactivity is the past. It's not the present. So anytime I find myself having a contraction in relationship to the world around me, I sit down and I do the inner work to see what is it in my past that is overtaking the present moment. Because if that's there, then I am not here now. I am not in this moment. And if I'm not in this moment, I'm going to miss the cues, the conscious cues my higher self, my inner voice, my intuition is giving me. Because those cues, those directives is coming from a place, the soul space, letting me know this is where the next step is. So the inner work is the most important work. And Socrates said, a life unexamined is not worth living. A life unexamined is not worth living. Profound. Like if you just go about life day to day like a cog in a wheel, not contemplating life, not thinking about your day and the things that unfolded and how you reacted. And was I present? Was I not present? What transpired here and there? If we don't spend the time examining our lives and our thoughts and our feelings, then we're missing the whole point of life. When we leave this domain, call it death, call it whatever one wants, what are we taking with us? We're not taking our jobs. We're not taking our material things like our home or money or wealth. We're not taking our bodies. We're not taking these relationships. We're not taking any of these things with us. So what are we taking with us? We're taking our consciousness with us. So that which we elevated, that which we worked on internally comes with us. Not all the ephemeral stuff of this world. It's an illusion. So when we put so much time and energy into acquiring things, into doing things, into accomplishing, we're caught in the web of Maya. And that's what Maya wants us to do. She wants us to keep spinning and spinning on the wheels. Reincarnation over and over and over again. But at some point, you have to stop the wheels. You have to sit down, take a deep breath, take note of what the work is that we're here to do. What is my assignment? My assignment is to face my fears, to face my shadows, to integrate this content. That's the real work. But this world is all about distracting us into the busyness, the doingness, here and there, constantly moving, constantly thinking and planning of the future. But the future is simply a regurgitation of the past if we're not here in this present moment and we're not clearing through our subconscious content. So fate is what happens to us if we don't take a hold of our destiny. Fate is what happens to us if we don't take responsibility for the content of our lives. We will bypass our destination. So when we leave this earthly domain and our guides say to us, so, how was it in this incarnation? What did you fulfill? And you may look back and wonder, well, I complained a lot. I was a victim of this or that. Hopefully, these are not the comments you're going to give your counsel. What you really want to do is hopefully say, I loved unconditionally. I forgave people that I felt caused me harm. I trusted when I was really afraid. I overcame these fears and shadows. I pulled back my projections into this world. I left this world in a better place than when I came. So I moved from my limited ego personality to my soul self. I followed the guidance. I followed the guidance. And then that will be the experience of fulfillment. Because when we don't accomplish that, we are reborn again, trying yet again to get to these places of unconditional love, acceptance, courage, inner strength, directive, decisiveness, all the positive higher qualities of the soul. So Mary Oliver says in her poem, once, I think the summer day, the last line is, tell me, I don't want to mistake in her words, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild, precious life? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild, precious life? She uses the word plan. You know, I'm a poet as well. We don't just throw words around. We contemplate. So, what is your plan for this one wild, precious life? Each day, you're free to choose. What are you choosing? What are you creating? What destiny are you unraveling for yourself? Are you committed? Are you committed to the path? Are you committed to your fears? What are you committed to? I always say, whenever a cliff is presented to me, I jump and then I try to figure it out later. I have a life of jumping off of cliffs and going, I have no idea how this is going to work out, but I knew it was my destined path. How did I know? I can't explain to you. I can't tell you how you are going to trust your own inner voice or your own intuition. That is each person's work to deal with. But I just would always be like, this is just too wild for me to come up with. I'm gonna say yes to this and see where it takes me. And it always took me to remarkable places. And that's why whatever life presents to me, I'm a hell yes. Because I'm so excited to see how my destiny unravels. Because it's been extraordinary up until this point. Why would it change now? Why would it change now? So I'm writing a book all about this so I can share all of my wild stories of following this crazy inner voice telling me to do things that make absolutely no sense, and then magical things unfold afterwards. But I was hell bent on fulfilling my destiny early on. So I have a degree in marketing and business. And when I graduated from college, I said, there's no way I'm doing this. This is not my destiny. I have zero interest in doing this. So I became a prep cook because all I knew in the moment was I wanted to learn how to cook. That's all I knew. So I took that step into that direction. And from there, I met someone that sent me to shiatsu school, where I studied shiatsu, which is the basis of the work that I'm doing today. That's over 35 years ago. Just because I just kept following the guidance and the impulses that came my way. And then at shiatsu school, I met someone that brought me to Italy, where I stayed for a year and a half, having extraordinary experiences. And from there, I met someone when I came back who introduced me to my teacher. And on it went, as if this path was already planned out. And all I had to do was say yes. Yes. Okay, I don't fully understand this, but my body says hell yes. My soul says hell yes. So, how to distinguish between the mind, the ego, and its limited thoughts, its fears, its hesitations, and the soul that's like, move forward in this direction. That is a lifelong balancing act. How to determine which is speaking and guiding us from within. I remember when I was 29, I was working as a masseur at a architectural firm in Manhattan. And it was a great job, paid well, didn't have to work much, pretty easy job. And then at a certain point, Dr. Ballantyne said, would you like to be an intuitive and sit with me in my practice? And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to quit this job to move in this direction. And I went back and forth like job, money, security, working with Dr. Ballantyne, a great unknown. What's going to happen? Not income. What do I do? So I made the decision to leave the job. And I went to my boss at the architectural firm and I said, I'm going to be leaving within 2 weeks. And he's like, is there anything I can do to keep you here? People just love you. I don't know even know what you do, but people love you. And I was doing massage, but clearly something more is transpiring in the massage. It's not just a physical touch, but there's a transmission. And for a moment, my ego's like, oh, he's offering me more money. That's very attractive. Then I thought, oh no, that's a trap. That's a trap to keep me in the limited sphere of consciousness. I need to move forward. And Dr. Ballantyne was my future. So I said, nope, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. I am going to be leaving in 2 weeks. And that was it. So there's always these tests that are presented to us that want to trick us and hold us in this position of, like tempting us with these little trinkets. Maya always has these little trinkets, and money and possessions, all these things are a part of that. So we have to have the presence to be able to notice that and to say, no, thank you. I have a greater destination than this. And I'm going to go, I have a date with my destiny. So all of these things arise in a lifetime, and we're always at a choice point. We always have the capacity to change our plight, but we have to give up whatever it is we're holding on to that doesn't show us our clear path, that doesn't allow us to live in a flow where things unfold with ease and grace. This is our true work. And then when you're on that path and you've done the excavating of the subconscious content and you've integrated the shadow content, then you'll notice you're in this flow of life where things just happen with ease and grace, seemingly miraculously. That's how you know you're on your destined path. I had a call from a tenant the other day. She was trying to change the filter and she broke the darn mechanism and water is going everywhere. And immediately I'm reacting like that well and that water is for 2 houses and it's not a lot of water in the container. So if there's gallons of water that's being lost like this, what are we going to do about it? So immediately I go into the contraction until I realize the guy who put the filter in just happened to be working at my house that day. And I'm like, turn off the well at the electrical outlet. I contacted the guy. He went across immediately, went to the store, fixed it within 45 minutes. That's what I'm talking about when I say, when you're in alignment with your higher self and soul, when you're living the life you were born to live, when you're on your destined path, things seem to unfold organically, miraculously, with ease and grace. And that for me is a telltale sign I've done a lot of the inner work. Yeah, of course, I'm going to have my reactivity, but I also can shift that in the moment as well. I can have the contraction, and then I can go into the expansion in what can be done to correct this situation right now. I look out my window, the guy is right there who had just happened to put it in, and he's only working at my place that one day that week. Can't make this stuff up. So we have so much power. There is so much intelligence within us. We have so much capacity to create the life we were born to live, to fulfill our soul's purpose, to call in whatever support we need whenever we need it. We simply need to be living in the present moment, in this body, in this reality. Vertical current, connected to source, in the world, but not of the world, fully participating in the here and now, but commanding time and space, commanding life, not having time and space and life command me. So that no matter what is coming at me, whatever life brings to me, I can deal with it with equipoise, with presence, with confidence.